Champ by Alexandra Bear. Illustrated by Joanne Fryer. Champ by Alexandra Bear. Illustrated by Joanne Fryer. It was a hot, hot day in the desert. Helen walked past the tent houses in her new town. Helen's family had moved to Nevada. They used to live in San Francisco, California. Now Helen's dad worked with a big crew or group of men. The men were building a giant dam across the Colorado River. Helen remembered walking near the ocean in San Francisco at low tide. The weather was always foggy and cool in San Francisco. "It sure isn't like San Francisco here," said Helen. Helen and her family lived in a tent house. Tent house. Helen. That night, Helen sat outside her family's tent home. She had her dog, Champ, with her. Helen found Champ right after she moved to Nevada. Dad came home. "I have some good news," Dad said. "Tomorrow we can move out of this tent house. We'll move into a real house." Helen smiled. "We're moving to a house, Champ," Helen said. "A real house is much better than a tent." Dad came home with good news. Mom, Dad, Champ. The next morning, Helen's family drove to a little white house. "Here is our new house," said Mom. Helen and Champ jumped out of the car. They ran into the house. Champ barked and barked with excitement. The landlord, or man who owned the house, was by the door. He gave Mom the keys to the house, but he said he did not like dogs that barked. Helen and her family moved into their new house. Car, landlord, house. Helen loved the new house. A girl named Claudia lived across the street. Claudia and Helen were the same age. They became friends. But soon there was a big problem. Champ barked a lot. People who lived nearby did not like the barking. They told the landlord about it. The landlord said Champ had to leave, or Helen's family could not stay in the house. Helen was very worried. Helen told her friend Claudia the bad news. Champ might have to leave. Claudia. One day, Helen, Claudia, and Champ sat outside a store in town. The girls were trying to solve Helen's problem. Claudia had an idea. "Maybe Champ can live here at the store," Claudia said. "Then you can see him all the time." Claudia got very excited about her idea. She ran into the store. She asked the store owner, "Do you need a dog to help protect your store?" There was a big crash. Champ was chasing a cat through the store. Cans fell all over the floor. Helen grabbed Champ. Claudia picked up the cans. The store owner did not want Champ in his store. Store owner. Cat. Cans. Claudia were sad. Then they saw Claudia's mom at the bus stop. She worked at the kitchen near the new dam. All the workers ate at the kitchen. Claudia got another idea. "Mom, can Champ help you at the kitchen?" she asked. Helen and Claudia explained why Champ had to find a new home. Claudia asked her mom if Champ could stay at the kitchen near the dam. Bus. Claudia's mom. Bus stop. Claudia's mom looked at Champ. She smiled. Then she said, "Okay, Champ can come to the kitchen tomorrow." The next day, Helen walked to the bus with Champ and her dad. Dad was going to take Champ to the kitchen on the bus. Helen hugged Champ for a long time. Dad said Champ could come home to Helen every weekend. "Don't worry," said Dad. "Champ won't disappear." Then Dad and Champ got on the bus, and the bus drove to the dam. When Helen's dad came home from work that night, he had big news about Champ. Champ was a hero today, Dad said. Dad said that Champ came out of the kitchen and watched the men work. The men were working on a very high place. Champ saw a man fall. Champ barked and barked. Dad heard Champ and ran to see what was wrong. The man who fell was stretched out against the side of a cliff, or high place. He was clinging to the cliff by his fingers. Dad pulled the man up. The man was safe. Champ helped save the man. A man fell over the edge of a cliff. Cliff. The crew at the dam said Champ was a hero. The crew said Champ gave them good luck. They wanted Champ to come to the dam every day. A newspaper writer heard about Champ. The writer wrote a story about Champ for the newspaper. People all over the country read about Champ. Everyone knew Champ was a hero. Champ started to go to the dam every day. The dam. Workers. Champ loved to be at the dam. He liked balancing on the rocks. He loved to eat in the kitchen with the workers, too. Champ went home to see Helen every weekend. In the summer, Dad took Helen to the dam so she could visit Champ. It took a long time for the workers to build the dam. Helen hugged Champ every time she saw him. Soon the dam was finished. People were very excited. They heard that the President of the United States was coming to visit the dam. A big crowd came to hear the President talk. Helen's family was in front. The President talked about the dam. He talked about the crew's hard work. Then the President said, "I want to see that dog Champ. I heard Champ is a very helpful dog, a real hero." The President of the United States came to see the new dam. The President. Helen and Champ walked to the President. "Here is Champ, sir," Helen told the President. Champ started barking at the President. "Woof, woof, woof," said Champ. "I think that dog likes me," the President said. "And I like you too, Champ." Everyone there started to laugh. Then they started to cheer. Champ! 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 The President liked Champ. Responding. Target skill. Compare and contrast. How are Helen and her friend Claudia alike? How are they different? Copy and complete the Venn diagram below to compare and contrast the two girls. Write about it. Text to world. Do you know of an animal hero in your community? How is that hero like Champ? How is it different? Write a paragraph that compares and contrasts this animal hero with Champ. Target vocabulary. Balancing. Clinging. Crew. Disappear. Excitement. Foggy. Stretched. Tide. Target skill. Compare and contrast. Tell how details or ideas are alike and different. Target strategy. Infer, predict. Use clues to figure out more about the selection. Genre. Historical fiction is a story that takes place in a real period of history.